Welcome to Divine Channeled Conversations with Thoth, as channeled by me, Danielle Rama Hoffman, and Mother Mary, as channeled by Danielle Gibbons. So, welcome, and let's begin.
All right.
This is Thoth that is 100% embodied, moving more into the forefront of this divine transmission. And there is the invitation for each of you to be calibrating this conversation, if you choose, to embodying yourself 100%. With presence and love. And so we would take some moments in the silence to welcome you, Mother Mary, as you are ready.
Hello, beloved one. What a joy and honor to be with you and all those that are witnessing our time together, my dear.
We are co-creating an environment, a sacred temple for this co-creation to be as fully received as one chooses. And so we are slowing things down a bit in this now moment so that the acceleration and the speed of light and frequency and vibration can be even more fully received. For it is not about having all that is possible in a now moment, yet only receiving a smaller portion. So we are creating a reception, a banquet, a celebration, and an environment. And this is where we would begin acknowledging the energetic environment that this conversation is happening within, and then also amplifying the full reception. And so love is inclusive. And is there more that you would speak about this topic of fully receiving?
Yes. And what I say about reception, receiving, is that too often it is easy to get caught up as you spoke just a moment ago about thinking that you want everything that's possible. And when you are so busy trying to get this energy and that energy, and almost like you are frantic, it is very hard for your energy, your actual nervous system to relax long enough to truly receive what is being given. So what we are doing here now is providing the experience for you to slow yourself down, deep breathing into the moment, and just open yourself to receiving all that your soul wishes to receive right now. That's not everything, but it can be a much more significant amount than if you are always reaching. The reception that we are offering you today, right now, is more about allowing, relaxing into the process of opening yourself to receiving only what feels safe, what feels loving, what feels easy to draw into your being. And now, with every breath, you can feel your own vibration vibrating just a little bit higher, and then a little bit higher, very slow, very steady, so that the frequency of love you are opening to, you are receiving, is the exact energy you need right now in your life to shift, to grow, to awaken that which you desire to awaken. Your heart's desires, not anyone else's, but your heart's desire.
As we were setting the table for this reception, this beautiful co-creation, there was the request that was coming from many of you for greater absorption, for greater integration, for greater inclusion, and that all that there is exists within all that there is. And so how you absorb or reclaim or remember or return home to love is about your perception of a now moment, what it is that you are focusing upon, and also this, as we're speaking, the opening to receive fully, absorb fully, and that as we tune in, there is an accumulation of your heart's desires that you have been requesting and in the process of actualizing, that are all lined up, ready to be delivered, ready to be received, ready to be included in your life And so this energy that we are co-creating here together supports the receiving of what's yours. You are the key that unlocks what's yours. And as the energy of reception is amplifying, there's also an invitation to let those balls that you have in the air to drop back to the floor. It is like a basketball gymnasium where there are many players that are playing with basketballs. They're in motion, they're moving. And then after the play, the balls are on the ground or they're put away in a nice shelf for the next time. So as Mother alluded to, you may have some balls in the air, some desires that you thought were yours that actually are not. And this absorption, this reception, is also the invitation to clear the decks, to disengage with those desires that aren't really yours. For the process of creation is a process of falling in love.
Always and always falling in love, yes. And when you step back for a moment and let those balls rest, take a break from juggling them, being so invested in them, and reconnect with what matters to you deeply, then it's much easier to recognize what's yours and what may not be yours, or what may be old beliefs that those balls you're trying to juggle were attached to. That it may have been a fantasy you've been carrying for a long time, but it doesn't really fit with what rests in your heart, in your soul, what you truly care about. Now is the time in your life, in this world, to come back to what matters to you personally. And we promise that all these things lined up that Thoth spoke of inside of you, your heart's desires that are wanting to come to fruition, waiting to come to fruition. You have everything inside of you to bring them to fruition, to experience the joy that they hold for you, the meaning that they hold for you. Because if you didn't have what you needed inside of you to bring them about, they wouldn't be your heart's desires. They are designed because of your whole self, your whole being. And so bringing them to fruition is natural. Holding yourself back from them, that's the effort, right? That's the hard part, is keeping yourself from what matters, from your heart's desire, from love. So the energy today here, it's almost a little counter-intuitive to the mind. We are asking you to let go, to relax, to open, to let those balls rest or drop, and just reconnect with your deepest self, so that you can put your energy, your focus towards what matters to you, rather than the outside world, although it might come in harmony, but not so much to the people around you, what's important to them. You let them bring what's important to them to fruition, and you focus on what's important to you. Because your life, beloved ones, is so precious. We cherish each and every one of you, your hopes, your dreams, and we know that you have all that you need to love deeply and fully yourself and all your relationships, the world around you. And what we offer to you is a shift in your mindset, a shift in priority, a shift back to remembering what matters. And now it would be lovely to chat about how to go about doing that, yes?
Yes. And there is the vibration of love that is inclusive, that is an emanation of being in divine union or unity consciousness, that the frequency of love is a conducive vibration of oneness, of unity, and actualizing or bringing to fruition that which is and are your desires is an expression of divine union. It's an expression of being in unity. And you shared something so potent about the naturalness of things coming to fruition and the efforting of stopping that from coming to be. And so we are slowly, we would say slowly, amplifying the vibration of love in such a way that it can be integrated. That as we were setting the table of this conversation, there was the awareness that as more and more and more and more love pours in, that could bring up a sense of hopping out of the environment. It was like and this is the analogy that Danielle was seeing, and it is not perhaps the most loving analogy of like the frogs in the pot. If it's too hot, they jump out right away. Not to say that you're frogs in the pot and the love is boiling water. Yet in your system, as you've perhaps been used to an absence of love or a sense of the illusion of a lack of love, when you come into contact with the quantity and the quality of love and divine union, such as being co-created here in this now moment with you, there can almost be that sense of it's too much. It's like as Danielle met her beloved Friedemann, in the beginning, she had to get used to the amount, the love that came from her beloved. It almost seemed too much in the beginning. And there was this like, ooh, this is actually nice. This is actually what she had been asking for. So we're spiraling a bit here because, as you mentioned earlier, it is also that sense of safety. And we know in unity consciousness, there really isn't safe or unsafe, for you each are eternal beings. Yet amplifying that sense of safety, and from there, with more inclusion of love, the clarity begins. So we know we kind of circled and spiraled and brought in lots of elements. And what thread, where is it that you would continue from the interaction that we're having? Would you circle back to how one knows what one's true desires are?
That's a wonderful place to come back to. And the first step that I would encourage people to take is to recognize that even though you are eternal and never-ending, multidimensional, so vast, right here and now you are human. And that human body, the human brain, the human emotions, they carry certain energies that are important to honor, right? And to cherish, because they are quite unique amongst life and incarnate beings. So safety is a very important element whenever you want to shift or change or transform or grow or welcome more love. It has to feel safe. So the first thing that I would encourage you to think about, to make an effort towards, and the analogy that we are working with here in setting the table at this wonderful banquet of love, is that you make a decision, right? With your free will, your choice, you make a solid decision that you want a place at this banquet. You want a seat at the table, that you want to live this feast of love. And it might feel frightening, and you might want to jump out of the pot. But once you make the decision to be at the banquet, you might jump up and have to run out, but you'll come back. And you might run out again, but you'll come back. And each time you claim your place at the feast of love, each time it gets easier and easier to stay. It feels safer and safer, and it feels more natural, more familiar. That love calls to you and says, oh, we know you're afraid, but just come back for a moment, just a moment, to the feast and feel the love. And it always calls you back. Listen for that call. You will hear it in your mind. You will hear it in your heart, in your soul. Your intuition will use that call, and you will hear the call in life around you. Because once you make that decision, once you say, yes, I choose the feast of love, I have a place at the feast of love. Once you make it, you will always hear the call. And you will always know that your place is held, never to be given away, never to be ejected. Always we hold space. Once you claim it, it's yours. Always. And that really is so much of what we do for you, beloved ones. We hold space for your awakening to love, to light, to the energies that are all around you. We hold space. It is sacred for us. And we love you unconditionally. We are the hosts of the feast of love. No matter what you do, what you don't do, what you say, what you don't say, always that place is held for you, each one of you. But the power for you as the individual is when you claim it.
Are you claiming your seat at the feast of love or not? Are you choosing to claim your place? For it is only yours. If you don't claim it, it is not that someone else does. What's yours is yours. So we ask the question directly to also amplify where there may be the yes and the no simultaneously.
Yes.
And this is where we are vibrationally in the conversation, the yes and the no simultaneously, that many of the desires of health or love or abundance or purpose have vibrational qualities that cultivate a deeper sense of love, a deeper sense of safety. So it is at times the chicken and the egg. What one wants is actually within. And so we're dancing around a little bit. It actually takes more effort to not receive than to receive. And the natural part, the fruition part, the fruit comes into fruition. It has everything within it that it needs. So what would you add about this sense of the perceived catch-22, or the effort to not have and have, the foot on the gas and the brake?
That it's completely and utterly natural and normal. It is a part of your evolution. So when you are a human being, you get a lot of chances in and out of bodies, birth and death and rebirth as often as you wish it. And what happens is your shadow is so glorious. Your shadow and light are intertwined and work beautifully together. The shadow is there to slow down your journey to the light, because if it were just instantaneous, you would not survive the transition. So oftentimes you have to rest in the shade. That's why it's okay to get up from the feast and run out for a little time and then come back, because you are approaching light, you are approaching love in a way that works for you. And what we do is support your natural rhythm. If you find that you have been struggling deeply with love, with wanting more love, or there is a cycle, there is a pain cycle, that foot on the brake, you just can't seem to pull your foot off the brake. I encourage you to dig deep and find forgiveness and compassion for yourself, understanding that of course you have your foot on the brake. It's natural, it's normal. And look at very, very small ways to slowly pull your foot off that brake. That you don't have to pick it up all at once and take it off. That you get to decide, right? You have free will. You get to decide. Maybe you start just by relaxing your toes, because chances are if your foot is on that brake hard, it's probably clenched. So imagine that you are just relaxing small parts of yourself that may not feel like it costs you very much to do. And then you look for little other ways, little more ways. And before you know it, your foot is maybe still on the brake, but very relaxed. And you feel yourself easing off. There's a lightness. The shadow's job is to keep certain burdens in place so that you can move to the light at a pace that is right for you in any given lifetime. When you allow yourself that freedom, all of a sudden you're not struggling so hard. You are not trying to force yourself to be something you are not in the moment. And when you forget, think about us, that we love you again, unconditionally. We accept you just as you are in this moment, unconditionally. All that you are, foot on the gas, foot on the brake, we cherish, because we know, we understand that evolution, awakening to light, to love, it is a process. Not because anything is punishing you, but it's simply how human beings evolve, one step at a time. So the most loving thing you can do when you are in that push-pull is to be kind to yourself. To recognize that a lot of the push is coming from you. Not really, never us, but from you. And to be kind, to take that pause and just feel what you're doing. How hard is your foot on the brake? How hard are you trying to push that gas? And maybe just pull back and take some time to just feel where you are, who you are, and what you need. What you need. And how can we help you to fulfill those needs? I am a very, very strong advocate for support. What you are witnessing right now, this is you saying yes to support, to our support in this moment. And we are here to support you eternally. Every toe that you relax, we are cheering you on and helping you find new ways to relax that foot on the brake, to say yes to love.
Acceptance is an emanation, an expression of love.
Yes.
And as you are emanating, and we are at this banquet of love, of unconditional love, some of the balls of desire that aren't actually yours have dropped even more. For at times, the desire, the wanting to have the brake off and the gas on full throttle comes from conditional thoughts, or having the sensation that you need to prove yourself. And so this unconditional love vibration, this acceptance of what is rather than trying to change it. We are not attached to a direction that is your choice, that is your side of the 50-yard line. We know that at times it can get confusing as we are together, that we may be encouraging a certain direction, yet only in response to your asking, in response to your calling. We are not here to be with you for a certain agenda or outcome. We know that this is also an essence of the divine to divine, to recalibrate the equality anywhere that you may have given away your power, that another would know better for you than you would know for yourself, or in connecting with us as beings of light, that we would know better for you than you would know for yourself. That is not the case. We are here with you, eye to eye, peer to peer, divine to divine, on this equality altar of the heart. And so as more and more and more and more of this unconditional love pours in and you choose to receive it, you may have reserved your seat at the table for a future now moment, yet you've claimed it, then those desires that you had previously that were calibrated to prove that you are enough, or that you are worthy, or for someone else to be proud of, or for you to please, they can fall away for the deepest desires to come forward. And the unconditional love is also loving the fruit that you are, the fruition that you are, your unique desires and design.
Beautiful.
And love moves quickly. So we have the sense that at this juncture in our conversation, we have already vibrationally reached, so to speak, where we had chosen to come together to reach, and now it is bonus round, so to speak, and we would invite each of you to up the ante of your desire. If you could have anything, be anything, vibrate at this reception of love, what might that be? And so is there a direction or a process or something that you would share for our bonus round?
I want to say that your words are just beautiful, beloved, very powerful, and so right to the heart. It is so vital that people understand what unconditional love really means. It's hard for humans because there are so many conditions on being human. But to embrace that we love your anger as much as your happiness, your pettiness as much as your generosity, your shadow as much as your light. We love all of you completely. So when you reach out with this feeling of what would you want love to bring to you into your life, let it be with your whole self. Let your shadow reach out to the love as much as your light. Your anger, your pettiness, your narrow-mindedness, your regrets, your fears. Let all of that reach out right alongside your generosity, your kindness, your compassion, your capacity to forgive. Let yourself open completely and ask what you will of love. It's here for you right now. The energy is here. The love you requested, that you desired, is here. Put a smile on your lips and a smile in your heart, and just open and ask for all that you need to be awakened inside of you to fulfill this desire. Let us integrate with you here and now. Don't be shy. Ask for what you need. Claim it. No limits.
At times we know that you slow down receiving, for the thought of receiving naturally jumps to the having. And if you have clarity or love or whatever it is, and you are having the sense that then you no longer have choice in the having, you may slow down the receiving of it. So one question that is being broadcasted is, how can there be more support from us as light beings? And one desire to have open communication with guidance, with divine knowing. And you may have asked for that and not had the sense of receiving it, because if you receive it, then you have to do it. That is not the case. You can receive, and then it's another choice whether you implement what you've received in the example of guidance. So we are amplifying once again the fully renourished nervous system. Anywhere that your nervous system had been in fight or flight or freeze, or identifying danger where there was none, there's that invitation for your nervous system to evolve into this divine love. And also at times, as we look at the cycle of receiving and having and gifting, you may have been tightly holding on to what is now time to share, to gift, to bring forward, to place on the altar. So just as the breath has the inhale, the oxygenation, and the exhale, receiving, having, and gifting are in wholeness, are in simultaneity. That is why it is natural for your desires to come into fruition.
My favorite way to receive more guidance, if that is your request from any or all of us, is to practice. Just invite me to tea, chat with me, feel my energy. And when it feels right, when it feels safe, when you feel, yes, this is something I would like to align with, then you just practice. You sit with me and breathe with me. Breathe my light in and out of your body. Let me settle in your heart. I will not always communicate in words, but I will always communicate in feeling. Not necessarily emotion, but you will feel me with you. And I never abandon you. None of us do. You can jump in and out of alignment as you choose. It's so important what Thoth said, that you choose. We are here for you. And when you align yourself with us, one or many of us, that's when we know you're ready to move. You are ready to flow. And we bring to your life all the support in your world that you need. We help to spark, just spark the awakening of your gifts within, to remind you what matters, and to hold your hand and comfort you when you feel lost, when you are hurting, when you are in pain. We are here to hold you, to love you, to comfort you, and to be all that you need us to be for your love, your joy, your expression of your divine self.
Just as you would invite someone to tea, connecting with us is a relationship that can be developed. Your beloveds, Danielles, have developed a very direct and primary divine partnering. It is not that they are more special than another.
No.
It is that they have chosen to have a deep partnering with us.
And so too can you, beloved ones. If you are willing, and if it is your heart's desire, begin your own practice of sitting with us, or one of us, or any of us, and just calling us to you. And I know that what is being offered as a part of this whole feast of divine to divine is my videos and the help that I have with connecting with your spirit guides, the divine. It gives you a lovely little structure that you can use to deepen your connection. All that it takes is your willingness and your effort. And honestly, we don't need that much of your effort, just a little bit, and we flow in 100-fold for you.
And so we would love to bask, to feast, to sit together some moments in the silence. Would that be amenable to you as well?
Absolutely, beloved.
Love is infinite, a wellspring. Love is not the prize, it is the present. The presence of love in the present supports you in unwrapping and absorbing what has the most meaning for you. We are acknowledging your presence and you're claiming your seat if you have chosen at this feast of love, this reception of love.
Mm. Welcome, beloved ones. Always, always, you are welcome. Mm.
Welcome home to love. As we are completing, is there anything you would add or a blessing for moving forward?
I give to you my heart and my love. We are one heart. We are one love. I give to you my joy. We are one joy. I give to you my vision. We are one vision. And I give to you my divine self. We are one movement of divinity. I love you, all of you. And it has been my honor and joy to serve you today. And I want to express my own gratitude for you, Thoth, for inspiring all of this and being that which has been the bond for all this extraordinary energy. I honor you, my beloved. Namaste.
And all is light, and we are all